Hey, it is day 4 of the Playful Leadership Challenge. Let's go. Hello, welcome again. Can you believe it? It's day 4. Tomorrow is the last day of the 5-day leadership challenge. And thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. I'm Betsaida Lebron, team building strategist and management coach, as well as the founder of Improv EQ, who's bringing you this challenge. So, time and time again, I have seen with my clients how playfulness is a leadership superpower. And employees have more choices than ever. So, given the choice between working with a playful and lighthearted leader or a miserable leader, we both know playful leaders, they're going to win every time. So, all this week, I've been sharing ways to bring more playfulness to how you show up as a leader. On Monday, we explored how to engage your playful mindset to be in the moment and open to possibilities. On Tuesday, we scrutinized our tendency to operate in autopilot, which really takes us out of that playful mindset. And yesterday, we delved deep and discovered our core values, which serve as a compass so that we can play with purpose. And today is all about relationship building. Play is universal. It allows people to let their guard down and be more authentic and vulnerable in a way that we might not otherwise feel comfortable with. So, in my experience, play also creates a feeling of connection between people, and communication is key. As a leader, our job is to make sure that our team understands us, that they're all on the same page. You want to be able to explain things to people in a way that they understand, and you want to listen to them in a way that they feel heard. I've been performing comedy and improv for over 16 years, and when I take the stage, I have no idea what's about to happen. There's no script. All the characters, the scene, the dialogue are all made up on the spot without pre planning. And to do it well, I have to be completely in the moment. I have to accept ideas, I have to contribute ideas, and build off of my teammates in real time. And when I try to explain to people who are doing improv for the first time. So many of my clients, when they're trying improv, they assume that to be successful at it, they need to be quick and witty and funny, but they're wrong. Because good improv is about being in the moment, actively listening, and just responding truthfully. The comedy comes from the truth, and forcing it doesn't make something funny. And the same is true for good leadership. It's not about being quick, witty, or even having all the answers. It's about communicating effectively, and all of this starts with listening. I have many listening games in my arsenal that I play with clients, and when they play, most realize they're not really great listeners. Stephen Covey, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I think said it best when he said, the biggest communication problem is that we do not listen to understand, we listen to reply. I mean, it's extremely tempting. It can be to charge into a discussion with one thing on our mind and to make sure that we're heard and understood. But when we do this, listening can really become an afterthought. But active listening can help us by enabling us to genuinely connect. And so when it's our turn to speak, we're able to share information that's truly relevant and useful to who we're talking to. And then we're able to frame that information in a way that they can accept it. So, in other words, if we try to speak first rather than take the time to understand and listen to their perspective, then we risk becoming irrelevant or misunderstood. So, what I'm going to walk us through today is a little exercise, and I want you to think of a specific and regular discussion that you're involved with, a specific time. So, this could be a weekly meeting at work, your one-on-ones that you do with your team if you're a supervisor, or a midweek lunch that you have with a colleague. But think of a very specific time. You can also come back to this video later if you want to go through it a little more, because you could do this for more than one. But right now, think of just one specific instance, and think of this person who you're talking to. And I want you to really imagine yourself entering into that regular discussion time, but with the intention of actively listening rather than being the first one to do the speaking. Close your eyes if you need to really imagine it. And I want you to imagine asking questions that draw out more information, asking questions that clarify and to confirm the meaning of what you're hearing them say. A great question that you can start with is, any news? Or what's the progress since our last catch up? When they talk, oh, that's interesting, tell me more. Or what did you mean by that? You can ask these questions to kind of get clear on what it is that they're saying. And I want you to keep rehearsing this in your mind. See this image clearly and rehearse and visualize yourself actively listening to the other person. Once you've got this clear mental image of what active listening would look and feel like, I want you to think about these following questions. How would your relationship with that person change if you regularly listened first? And how would you change if you regularly listened first? And take some time to think about this and maybe even jot your thoughts in a notepad. I'm old school. I said yesterday, I love pen and paper, or you can put it in the notes app on your phone or on a Google Doc or whatever that may be. But capture this reflection. How would it change your relationship? And how would you change if you regularly listened first? This helps us to capture it, to really solidify that in our minds. This is a great trick for cognitive processing. And now I want you to think about the next time that you're going to meet this person that you're thinking about for your regular discussion time. And think of what is the one practical action that you can take at the start of your next discussion for you to show up ready to listen and allow them to speak. So you want to come in as a listener first. What is it that you need to do? What is an action that you can take to ensure that you are going to show up as a listener first? Write that down so that you commit to it. And then when you do have a chance to talk to them, I want you to put it into action. I want you to make sure to reflect that and do the thing that you said that you were going to do and really practice being a listener. This is going to transform your relationship, because what we all want, what we all really need, is to be seen and to be heard. And if you can give that to your people and start from a place of being open to listen, wow, that is going to be really transformational. And all of that requires that openness that we're talking about in the sense of play, right? When I'm playing, I don't have to be right or wrong. I just get to be with whoever I'm with. And that is that energy that we want to bring to these discussions, these conversations, where you show up to be a listener first. And once you put it into action, this will probably be after this 5 weeks, these 5 days, this week of leadership challenges, but that's okay. this is something that you still want to be thinking about how you can be implementing all of these things we talked about even long after this week is over. And think on when you do have that discussion, what happened? What worked? What didn't work? What will you do again? What might you modify? These are things that you want to be thinking about. Kind of like I talked about having your values and reflecting on the last 24 hours. Hey, how did I live up to that? How didn't I? Making the time to reflect back on, did you live up to your intention? Did your actions align with your intention, right? You won't know that if you're not paying attention. If we're an autopilot, you miss and you might be completely out of alignment. So you want to make sure you take the time to think back and reflect, how did it go? So what we've been talking about, I mean, there's been so much that we're talking about being playful and having that energy that shows up as far as being a playful leader. And I just want to let you know that this is just one piece of what is the improv EQ method, which is pause, play, and perform. And so that is what I teach and my management coaching program, which is managing in the moment, because it is really about being in the moment, not just in this present moment and being present, but also in the moment, because you have to be able to be flexible and things change. And so you have to be able to think about that in your management style. So if you are a people manager and you have been enjoying and getting value from what I'm sharing, I want to invite you to really look into joining the Managing in the Moment coaching program. So I will talk more about that tomorrow, but I just want to let you know that what we've covered is just a small piece of what there is to explore and to learn when it comes to being a better people manager and a more intentional and effective leader. Once you have thought through, right? This is the exercise that we're doing. Once you've thought through what it is that you want to say to this person and think through that action, make sure that you share it. So think of who is that the person you're going into a conversation with, where you're going to show up as a listener first. And then I want you to share either how it went, or you can just share what the action, because maybe you won't have the conversation yet, but you can share what's the action that you are going to take to ensure that you show up as a listener first. And as always, I want you to not just comment and respond to other people, because there is still that special prize worth $500 in value. I will be announcing the winner after tomorrow. That'll be announced in the LinkedIn group. So if you're not a part of the LinkedIn group, then you're missing out. That's where we're sharing all of the challenges and what we've been doing so far this week. That group is the Playful Leaders and Managers. If you registered for this challenge officially, you will have gotten that in an email. Check your spam if you're not getting my emails. But otherwise, you can also just search Playful Leaders and Managers on LinkedIn. And all the replays are there as well. If you've missed any one of these days this week, you can watch it there. And make sure that you let us know what's that action that you're going to take, or how did that go, showing up as a listener first. So I can't believe we're on day 4. This has been so much fun, and I hope that you're getting value from this. I know that you are, but I hope you're having as much fun as I'm having. So Monday, we did creating space for play. Tuesday was defying autopilot. Wednesday was about finding your compass. Today, building relationships. Truly, it starts with listening. That's your challenge. All of these days, we've had a challenge. If you missed any one of them, like I said, all the replays are in the LinkedIn group, Playful Leaders and Managers. And tomorrow is the culmination of the week. And tomorrow we will be talking about how you can play away shame for yourself as a leader, but also for your team. Really important when it comes to building psychological safety. That's huge right now. You need to understand that if you're a leader right now, if you're leading people, you want to understand how to keep them psychologically safe And a part of that is we want to play away the shame. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. So make sure that you come back for that. I've been having so much fun, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.